Now we move into multiplication and division, and so we're going to look at doing some factoring. The first problem, everything is already factored out, and so all I have to do is just look to see what can cancel. So notice here we have an x minus 2 and an x minus 2, so those two can cancel. And then when we rewrite it, notice we're doing multiplication, so we're going to put everything in the numerator that needs to be there. So we have an x minus 3, and an x plus 3. And then denominator, all we have is 2. So that would be my answer right there. So pretty straightforward. Probably the most important thing to note is that we're multiplying everything across and multiplying, which means multiplying everything in the numerator and multiplying everything in the denominator. But we can cancel out exact terms, not partial, but exact terms. So I can go ahead and cancel the x minus 2's. In the next one, we have x squared plus 3x minus 4 over x squared plus 4x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 4x plus 3 all over 2x squared plus 4x. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite that first. So that should always be your first step. 3x minus 4. I have x squared plus 4x plus 4. Then I'm going to multiply it by 2x squared plus 4x. And we have x squared minus 4x plus 3. Kind of see everything there. Okay, so now we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to factor these. I'm going to go ahead and factor them right away. If you want to do the box method or any other method, then you should remember to do that. It's very important to do that. So I know this minus sign here, the minus sign that's located here, tells me 1 is plus, 1 is minus. 1 is plus, 1 is minus. And I know that the factors of 4, so whatever multiplies to 4, has to subtract to 3. Whenever there are different signs, they have to subtract. So then we'd have 4 and 1. Because it's positive, the 4 is the larger number, so it stays positive because of this positive here. So 4 and 1. So now I factor that one. And again, I'm doing it faster than what I usually do in class, but you can do the box method to do that as well. And then down here, I have x and x. I would only do this, by the way, as long as there's not a number in front. Whenever there's a number in front and on the upper problems that you saw, I went through the box method. So we have x and x. This last plus tells me that they're both positive. The middle plus tells me that, the last plus tells me they're both the same sign. This one tells me they're both positive. So that's really the difference there. So what multiplies to 4 and adds to 4? 2 and 2. Okay, so that takes care of that one. Now we're going to do this one. We have an x and another x. We have a plus 3. This plus tells me they're both positive. This plus 3 tells me that they're both the same. This minus sign tells me they're both negative. What multiplies to 3? That would be 1 and 3. That adds up to 4. That would be that right there. I can cancel that out. And notice here, this does not factor like all the other ones do. I just take out a 2x because that's common to both terms. I take out my greatest common factor, and I have x plus 2. So my x plus 2 and my x plus 2 cancel. I have an x minus 1 and an x minus 1 there. Those cancel. I have an x plus 4 in the numerator and a 2x in the numerator, and I have an x plus 2 in the denominator and an x minus 3 in the denominator. Nothing else cancels, so it's 2x times x plus 4, which is in the numerator, and I have x plus 2 times x minus 3 in the denominator. And now at this point, nothing else can cancel. So they have to be exact terms. Remember, 2x and 2 can't cancel. Can't partially cancel some of these things in there either. Okay, last but not least, I have another division. This time it's a little bit different, so we can see that we still have a division. So we have 5x squared y cubed all over x to the 7th times y cubed all over 30x y to the 4th. So all I did is, of course, flip this. You aren't going to have any negative powers that you're going to have to worry about, so don't worry about those. Notice that 5 goes into 30 6 times and 5 goes into 5 1 time. I can take out, notice here, I'm going to start combining things together. I'm going to start multiplying across before I start canceling anything else out. So I have my 1, I have my x squared in the numerator, I have my y cubed times y cubed. We add those powers, that's y to the 6th. I have x, notice I have a 6 down here. I have an x to the 7th and an x to the 1st, that is x to the 8th, and I have a y to the 4th. Now, why did I do that? I cleaned it up because it's kind of messy to see everything that I can cancel right now. Now I can see things that I need to cancel. So now these two subtract, so that gets rid of the y's in the denominator. The 2 and the 8 also subtract, it gets rid of the x's in the numerator, so this becomes a 6. So what do I have down here? I have y to the 2nd from this one. I have a 6, and I have an x to the 6th in the denominator. No y's left over, and that would be my problem completely factored. And that would be my answer.